Hey everyone, it's Monica with King's Titan Homestead, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel. Today is going to be kind of like a continuation of yesterday. I had mentioned either reading or buying the book, Managing Alternative Pollinators. It's just something that I think every human should read. So I think this was done, 2010. So a lot of things have changed in our environment and agriculture since 2010. So whenever you're reading any book, anything published, you should always think about how it applies to today and how it applies to your location. I can't stress that enough. So one thing that I really thought that was really wonderful, that was in, and I'm fanning myself, it's 114 today. 114. Ooh, okay. So it says beekeeping is part science, part art, part theoretical, and part practical. And I think that is really a great statement. And it is. So I found it really, this is the first chapter. You really need to read it. It's called The Business of Pollination. This is how food gets to your table, farmers and beekeepers. And so you can't rely on the natural population of bees, and this tells you why. And this is really great because it was done by Marla Spivak, which is one of our USDA, I think she just recently retired, so that goes and shows you some things. But Eric Mader and Elaine Evans, I think, are with the, could be with the Xerces Society, which are for native bees. I have to look now where they're at. I didn't look that up first. But so this first section was written by Marla Spivak, the professor of entomology at the University of Minnesota at the time, and then Eric Mader, who is the pollinator outreach coordinator for the Xerces Society. So basically, this is a really interesting chapter because it basically tells how pollination is done, and how our commercial beekeepers are having to truck bees from as far away as like Florida and to California for almond pollination. And it also talks about the diversity of bees and the native pollinators that are in an area. And just think about the monoagriculture that we have happening right now, and how you can't really just rely on native bees to do that pollination, because once those blossoms are done, there'll be nothing else left for them. It's just not a really good thing. And it also, there was a really great statement, and I can't remember if this was in this first chapter or not, but basically it talks about how taking your bees to almond is like eating chicken for a month. That's the same thing for a honeybee, to be having that single source of protein from the pollen on the almond trees, on the almond flowers. It's like eating one thing, and not getting a diverse diet. So it's not healthy for you just to eat one protein source forever. And so that's what this is basically talking about, and how beekeepers have to keep their hives healthy in order to get paid correctly. So beekeepers are putting in all of their resources and energy and money and time and everything all into their bees. And so when you hear that a beekeeper gets paid for pollination, it talks about what little they actually do make. So this is really just a really interesting, and everyone should know about this. People are so, I wouldn't say blind, or not, maybe naive. If you're not researching it and if not looking into it, and then they make statements that are horrible about commercial beekeepers. And that is just, if you make that statement while you're eating a handful of almonds, or drinking a jar of almond milk, or you're eating blueberries, and you're eating, like all the things, cranberries for, your Thanksgiving dinner, or cranberry juice because you like to drink healthy, and yet you're not thinking about how that food gets to your plate in order for you to badmouth other people. So basically, there are some really interesting things inside of this, and I'll probably touch more, but I thought this was really great because it says a standard acre rate where wild pollinators are absent, often 1 or 2 honeybee hives, 4 bumblebee hives, 20,000 leafcutter bees, or 250 female mason bees for fruit trees. Per hectare rates are approximately 2.5 to 5 honeybee hives, 10 bumblebee hives, 50,000 leafcutter bees, and 620 mason bees. That's what you would need for an acre or a hectare in order for pollination to occur. That's a lot of bees. So, yeah. They did mention something about, and I don't know if I marked it, about the importation of packages from Australia in here. And I honestly don't think we're doing that anymore. I would have to check, but I don't think we are. And if we are, we're being stupid because we should not be importing anything right now. I know that we had shut down importation of queen bees and different things a while back, like maybe 6 years ago or so. I'm not sure. It's something that I need to like research before I start yakking about it. But the reason I say we shouldn't be importing anything is because there's a new mite on the horizon. I've been trying to get some researchers to talk to the local beekeeping group about it, but our board wants to stick with local stuff, which, you know what, this is coming, and, you know, I'm not going to be talking about it because I am not an expert in these things, but we need to start paying attention to some stuff. And so the Tropilelaps mite is on the horizon, and I was just talking to a friend of mine, Dave Hackenberg, about it, and he said, I think it was in Thailand, and it's made it to the Ukraine, and that wherever this mite is going, it used to be the host was a wasp, and now it's jumped species. Basically, it's jumped, and now this is scary. Oh. It's wiping out 1/2 to 2/3 of the honeybee populations wherever it goes. And it's now jumping hosts, and it's living on mites and rats. Do you realize what that means? This is coming. It's not that, I mean, it could be already here. It could be arriving on a port right now. I mean, how do you keep mice and rats off of boats? People went to do some research. I don't remember which, I don't know if they went to the Thailand, probably, I think they went to Thailand, I'm not sure, but some of our researchers went over there and they literally burned their clothing coming back. This is something serious, and we need to be really aware that this could easily affect our food system. So, yeah, it's on the horizon. Not to be screaming, you know, about something bad, but yeah, I'm gonna scream about these guys. These things are bad. So I had gotten this model about the varroa mite, and I really love teaching with this one here. This is the, you know, if we were to compare the size of a mite for our bodies, let's just think of us as the bee and this as the mite. This is kind of what we would have chewing, sucking on us. But this Tropilelaps apparently is like much smaller. Like, you're gonna have to wear me, I've got old eyes, I'm gonna have to wear little magnifying glasses in order to see it. But it also is like it's like there's tons more of them that, you know, I don't know, even know what the mite count will be on those. But anyway, so this is just something last night I did a talk to the Western Agricultural Society. I mentioned that in my last ones, and it went really well. And there was a great speaker before me, and he was mentioning, talking about drones and drone quality. And so that was really interesting. But, and then this weekend, I will be doing a talk at noon, if you're a local and you want to make your way down to Arivaca for the Pollinator week. There's a Pollinator Pathways project that is down at the Arivaca Dance Hall, and I'll be there at 9:15 setting up my table. and I'll have an observation hive there and a bunch of handouts for how you can help pollinators. But I've put together a pretty cool presentation, and I'll be speaking at noon. So if you're in that area, I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching. I'll see you tomorrow.